to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.
Welcome, guys, to the Gulf Coast Music Podcast. My name is Q Steezy, and today's new wave is Brooklyn Noel.
Hey, what's up?
Great to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Standing in the Rain, is that going to be the title of that song?
Yes, it is.
And how many other unreleased songs do you have?
I have like 5 or 6. I have enough for an EP, but
Nice.
I'm a little nervous to release because I want to see how people react to like this on the podcast first before I,
For sure.
go through with it.
For sure. No, that's really exciting. You were saying that you wanted to bring it to a professional studio.
Yeah, I have a producer in Atlanta, so
Okay, gotcha.
he's willing to master my tracks for me and everything. I got to get back up there. I go between Atlanta and Mobile.
Okay.
So,
How did you get contacted with him?
through Vici actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Vici's really connected, so
Yeah, that's my manager.
that's
kinda,
the
but
homie.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's and are you gonna record in Atlanta then? Or are you gonna try to okay,
I
gotcha.
wanted to try down here, but everyone I've tried to work with down here
Right.
has, not been very serious about working with me. So I know people in Atlanta who are serious about working with me.
Yeah.
And they're willing to like say, oh, she doesn't really have a big following, but we're still gonna work with her because she has the sound we're looking for. So
I think that's really common in Atlanta actually.
yeah.
That support system.
It is. It's definitely I'm definitely more supported out there.
Yeah.
I feel more supported by the people I know out there than I do by the people here because that is just like a music. This is Music City, but that's a big city for hip hop and R&B
Absolutely.
and stuff. So
It's the Mecca, as
yeah.
they say.
So when you go out there, it's like you can connect with somebody at McDonald's drive-through,
Right.
and it just. You know what I'm saying? And it could take you really far.
Absolutely.
They have connections and they're willing to share them. Here, it's like people are more. They keep it to themselves. I'm willing to work with like other artists. A lot of people aren't willing to work with other artists. So.
Cool. Do you have any artists in mind?
Right now I have a couple, but I'd prefer to keep them to myself.
Fair enough.
So,
Well, what's going to be your strategy in connecting with those artists?
right now I sent out a few emails.
Cool.
So I'm waiting to hear back. They told me they'll get back with me, so I'm waiting on that.
Yeah.
And I was actually sent one of my first songs I recorded. I sent to them already, so hopefully that comes back with good news.
Well, how'd you record that song?
I recorded it at like a small studio in Atlanta.
Nice.
On the south side, and it was just somebody I know, like the engineer. I knew him from SAE. It's a college out there for
Yeah.
music. So he went there and stuff like that. His name is Meso. He's really cool.
Cool.
But yeah, that was my first.
If you need to take that. You can
No, I do not need to take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure they'll like it. You've got a great sound. How did you find your voice or your sound?
I've been singing since I was 4 years old. So like when the first American Idol came out and Carrie Underwood was on there, I was like, hey, that's gonna be me. I want to do that, and I've been singing ever since.
Wow.
Like I've been writing my whole life. When I was like, this is funny, but I used to love like soul food when I was a kid, like
Yeah.
fried chicken. So I had wrote a rap about that when I was like 11 years old, and I thought I ate, but anyway.
Metaphorically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No pun intended.
Absolutely. I think I did something similar. Actually, for Christmas when I was 5 years old, I asked for a Popeye's biscuit.
Oh, okay.
I should have made a song about it. It would have come true.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like I just manifested that. So I grew up and like love chicken. So
Nice.
yeah. But Standing in the Rain is about like my past relationship.
Okay.
So I've only had I've only been in like 2 relationships, So when I went to Atlanta, I met somebody through
Yeah.
some other people. I don't recommend to all the ladies out there watching this. I don't recommend at all. 0 out of 10.
Of Atlanta people? Or
No, not all the people. Just like don't go out there by yourself at 22 thinking you're going to do this, that, and the third, and you can't get caught up in anything because you can definitely get caught up in stuff, especially as a female. So, but the song is actually, I was in a really bad relationship with this person. They're like really older than me, but they did a lot of horrible things. So this song "Standing in the Rain" is like I waited for them to change and they never changed. So I waited like 6 months for this person to change. I was ready to leave by 6 months, but
Right.
I stayed and waited because I seen the value and the potential. So at the end of my song, when I'm like, I ain't standing in no fucking rain, it's because I'm not gonna stand in the rain and wait for you anymore.
That's awesome.
And standing in the rain is, the term is used when you're waiting on something.
Right.
You're willing to wait.
Okay.
I'm not willing to wait. So if it's raining and pouring, you're gonna be out there on your own
Right.
because
We're-
Brooklyn's not waiting anymore.
We're only waiting 6 months.
Yeah, you only get 6 months, maybe 3,
Yeah.
maybe 6 weeks
Right.
at this point. But yeah,
Period.
okay.
How did you know you could use your voice that way?
I honestly, before I moved there, I had never wrote, like, all my music, I never actually sat down and wrote anything. So I write poetry, but all my music was it's all based on a freestyle. So, like, I had 2 phones. So, like, I'd record with the beat on this phone, and on the other phone, I would record myself, singing it and freestyling on the beat. And then
Right.
I'd go back, listen to it, and write it down.
Okay.
And then I just practice it and perfect it and
Right.
see where I wanted to add like different melodies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, it only takes me like 3 minutes for real. For both my songs, it took me like 3 minutes to write. So
You think it's because it's heartfelt or because you got a...
yeah, it's from like pain. So like
Yeah.
when something comes from a place of pain or hurt, it just comes naturally.
It doesn't even have to rhyme.
Yeah, you don't even have to like try too hard. It's just gonna flow naturally out of you. So
And those are like the most original songs too.
yeah,
It's hard to beat those songs no matter what you make, just because
yeah.
the whole point of like creating music is to kind of unleash some art that you know.
I have another song. It's just not, I don't release anything. That one I just sing is not recorded yet. So, but the other song I have is called Happy Death Day.
Okay.
And that was like a real turning point. That's when I really started getting into like hopping on beats, freestyling, and which I've always freestyled with my friends, but this is when I started taking it serious. Was when
Gotcha.
I wrote Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
So
Brooklyn Noel's a great name. I see a lot of potential, honestly.
thank you.
Yeah. It's what are you trying to get out of? I guess you already said that you're trying to get out of Mobile and take your talents to Atlanta.
Well, I do want to go back and forth, but right now I'm looking to go, like, I have connections in Nashville with a label out there, so
Damn.
I was going to try to use that to the best of my ability, send them, they ask for some materials and stuff like that. And,
How'd you make these connections without much music?
my mom actually grew up in Mobile,
Right.
and so a lot of the people, she's a little older, so a lot of people she knows have, they left the area, they went on to bigger and better things, they married people who know things, so she has the connection. I'm just piggybacking off my mom. She's my biggest fan, so
Get it how you can.
yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, but no matter what, we're getting out of Mobile. We're trying to.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
just, honestly, it's really small here.
It is. Yeah.
I just came from, like, living life, kind of fast.
Right.
So, like, bigger city, you know what I'm saying? I can go to the studio, like, whenever I want because it's, open door policy for me. So, but down here, I don't really have that. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. But yeah, I guess from what I've heard about Atlanta, it is like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, you would think that Mobile would have that more homemade feel, but there is sometimes some stuck upness,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great to just already have your foot in the door without much product, and then to be able to show the product after. Definitely save what you have.
Yeah.
It's awesome. When was your first ever competition, and how was it?
Oh, I've only ever did one competition. I actually have stage fright. So, yeah.
Well, when you only do one, it's hard to get over it.
Yeah, so like I actually before I went and did the performance in Mobile, I did the showcase in like January, I think. That video on my Instagram, that was from that. I don't remember what it was called. I just remember doing it,
Do you have a video from the showcase?
Yeah, it's the only one on my Instagram.
Oh, well, what
That's-
about the performance then?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, I mean, I have the video, but it's not with me
Oh,
anymore.
okay,
So,
gotcha.
but I actually started doing karaoke. I learned that doing karaoke with a bunch of drunk people watching you is a lot easier to
Yeah.
get over stage fright because no one's really paying attention. No one's really judging you.
Yeah,
So I started doing that like 6 weeks before I went and did this performance.
nice.
I started doing karaoke. I was like, you know what? We got stage fright real bad. I'm talking like
Right.
really bad. So I went and I just kept doing it, and I got comfortable with the mic, and I was like, okay, cool, we can do the show. And then I did the show, and I messed up. I went to perform, and they had given me this mic that was not the greatest mic.
Yeah.
I needed the better one, but I ended up restarting my song and performing it the right way, and so everyone liked it there. So, that actually exposed me to the music industry here in Mobile a little bit more. Maybe
Right.
if I do more stuff like that, I might develop more connections. But right now, I'm working.
Yeah.
and trying to record.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there, I don't know which camera to look at, but if anyone out there would love to work with me, I would appreciate it.
I was joking. Yeah.
Oh, it's already telling me to look over here.
Do you get many Amy Winehouse comparisons?
I do. I was told I do Amy Winehouse at karaoke. I was told that like one person said you sing her better than she sings her,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know what that means. That's messed up, but okay, I'm taking it. I guess that was a compliment.
That Lottie Dottie Da part was very reminiscent, but
Yeah, I grew up listening to her and Adele, so
yeah, I mean it sounds like it for sure.
yeah.
No, it's definitely a compliment. I think both of them are obviously Hall of Famers. I
Yeah.
think Apple said Amy Winehouse's album was the greatest of all time, or second greatest of all time. So yeah, it's really special to have that sound going for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
On a stage,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
what's your dream stage?
I really want to go overseas with it. So like, I want to do like a world tour. Like,
Do you know any other languages?
I can speak a few a little bit.
Yeah,
So like, I can speak a little bit of like Twi, but Twi is because my friend is from
Isn't that-
Ghana. So
is that Twisted Tea?
no,
Oh.
Twi is a language in Ghana. So
Oh, okay,
I
gotcha.
actually learned how to speak that a little bit. So that's kind of like, a lot of people can't speak that. So I
Okay.
just threw that out there. I speak a little Spanish as well.
Tight.
Yeah. So because I'm part Spanish, so it kind of goes hand in hand, I guess.
Can you have a conversation in Spanish?
Like full, like speaking fast, no. But
Yeah.
like if someone's talking a little slower to me,
Right,
yes,
right.
I can definitely communicate back. So
Nice. Yeah, that's my biggest fear is running into my Spanish teacher in the hallway.
The guy here.
Okay,
Yeah, which one do? Keep the camera rolling.
yeah, just keep it on 2 for the time being. Yeah, running into my Spanish teacher is like worst thing possible because it's like,
they speak only Spanish to you, don't they?
and then and then it's like I just let him down. I just let him down because yeah, he's expecting me to like remember everything from his class.
Yeah. Luckily, when I took Spanish, I did it. I did it when I did virtual school in high school,
Right.
and so I didn't have to see my teacher.
Nice.
But let me tell you, I didn't do a lick of that work at all.
Well, I mean, virtual school in high school, was that because of COVID?
No. I chose to get out of public school and try to do like a more like a more homeschool type program. But Baldwin County is where I went to school. So
Okay,
Baldwin
gotcha.
County schools, they offer a virtual school program.
Interesting.
And so that's like where you just do it on your computer and you go and take your test in the office or whatever. And you just carry on about your week. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want. So it gives you free range, but I think I was just so young.
Yeah.
It wasn't time for me to have that range like a college student. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's. I feel like high school is such a development.
It is. It was definitely needed. I should have like stayed in school. But
Yeah. Did you go to college?
No, I actually had a full ride to Coastal, so I went there for music. But then my mom had got breast cancer, so I
Oh,
left.
damn.
Yeah, she's good now. She's
Okay,
good
good.
enough. I told you she's outside.
Yeah.
But I definitely I knew I wanted to do music from a young age. I just never knew how to plug myself in.
Right.
And how I'm set up, my dad passed away when I was a kid, and my mom is really my biggest fan. So between me and my mom, we try to get me in there as much as we can, But I don't really have connections, or it really comes down to the money though,
Right.
because you need money to make music.
So
You need money to go far.
exactly.
So I don't have that right now, but
Yeah.
give me 3 months, and I'm gonna have everything I need. You know what I'm saying? So.
Elaborate on
plan.
that. Elaborate. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I have a full-time job now, so
Okay.
I am the assistant manager at the Wharf.
Okay, gotcha.
In Orange Beach. So
Yeah, I
just
went there
think-
when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool down there. You should come visit. I'll let you get
Absolutely.
on the Ferris wheel.
Sheesh.
Sheesh, if you're not afraid of heights.
No, yeah, I throw up every time.
Oh yeah, no, you're not getting on there. I'm not cleaning that
Yeah.
up. But anyway, I have a job, so like I'm working on saving up some money and stuff like that. And since I'm not paying, right now I'm not paying rent, so
Fair.
it's
That helps.
giving me I came from living in Atlanta, having an apartment, having a car that was in good shape, having all these things, but my life kind of took a toll, and I kind of had to come back here.
How long were you in Atlanta? Just 6 months or more?
No, I was in Atlanta for 2 years.
Gotcha.
So I was there a little while. I was there long enough. Like, I know a lot of people from there. I know, like, I feel like that's my home.
Okay, cool.
Like, I lived there long enough, and I connected with a bunch of people. So, those are my people.
Huncho Fest, the South's fastest growing recurring event, a music festival highlighting independent artists from all over the country. Any artists that want to sign up and perform, all you have to do is DM NMBGJAY on Instagram and he'll negotiate a slot for you. Tickets will be $10 at the door, and there will be a giveaway which includes a Gulf Coast music interview or a free performance at an upcoming event, all sponsored.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're home away from home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Home away from mom's house.
Yeah. Yeah, facts. Would you ever move to Atlanta for just...
Yeah, I would, but I would move to the south side. See, I lived on the east side of Atlanta, so I didn't really like it over there. But if I go, I'll definitely go to the south. Maybe more of like a suburb area. I stayed like right outside the city.
Yeah,
Like,
the east is ghetto, huh?
Where I stayed on like, it was not that it was ghetto. I mean, if you go deep in the east side, yeah, it is, but it's the same anywhere you go. But if you go like where I lived, I stayed in like Tucker, Norcross, Doraville area, so like right on the line of all three of these little towns. And so it's like it was just mostly Hispanics, and that's also where like I learned a lot more of Spanish because I couldn't go to the store and not speak Spanish, because everywhere I went, it's it's Latinas and Latinos everywhere. So
Right.
I mean, you just kind of pick up as you go. That's why I was like, yeah, I speak a little Spanish and I can communicate, but it's more like Spanglish, So
I got that dine a row. You're actually talking about money.
yeah,
Yeah.
dinero.
Yeah. Let's see. So where would you say that you're at right now with music, and then where do you see yourself with music?
Right now, I'm at the bottom for sure.
Right.
I say I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I have ambition.
Right.
But right now, I'm at the base level. I'm starting at 400 followers base level.
Yeah.
So
I'm still at the base level.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's okay. Look, we're in the same boat. It's fine. We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there together.
Yeah, I'm starting to like the base level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool down here, but
Yeah,
we
we're having a
would
good
like
time.
to elevate everyone. We would like to elevate a little bit. So.
Let's see. What are your promotional strategies?
I actually started posting a couple reels,
Yeah.
So I wanted to start posting some covers first, just to get traffic to my page. Last month I had 10,000 people view my page.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's cool off of one video. So I was like,
With ads or without ads?
without ads.
That's really impressive.
So I was like, okay, if that many people can view me without an ad, what's gonna happen when I pay for an ad?
Sheesh.
Sheesh, them 10,000 people might be like, oh, let me follow her. Her shit popped up. Like,
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool. Would you ever do merchandise?
Like sweatshirts and stuff. Yeah, I actually have a whole I have like this whole mock-up blueprint for a whole like clothing line.
Yeah.
And I think people down here would actually dig it. It was inspired by Mobile. So the brand is more, it's like sweatsuits and stuff like that, like street style, because that's what I like. I don't really...
Yeah, when you had the showcase in the video, it looks like you had like a...
I had to put that jacket on because the crowd, I could see everyone.
Right.
And I had stage fright, so I was like, oop, bye.
There you go.
So I disappeared, and once I disappeared in my hood, it was okay. I was ready to lock in. Yeah, so I definitely may be performing with a hoodie from now on, but who knows? Might
Right.
not need to next time.
And you got the camo.
Yeah, so like this outfit actually, the pearls and stuff are from my mom. But so I have a different style. I like streetwear and stuff like that, but I also like to keep it classy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the pearls keep it classy. But this is like, you know, a little country, you know.
Drewski.
We're from Alabama,
Yeah.
y'all. And then I know it's a little hot outside, but the turtleneck just brought it together for me.
There you
so,
go.
you
It's
know.
fly.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. Really excited for the upcoming work. Do you have a date for when you think you're gonna drop it? Or
I was looking at doing a day in April. I'm hoping to have it like
that's soon for not
Yeah.
having recorded it yet.
yeah, but hey, to each their own, right?
Yeah, facts.
You know, I really want to do a little video.
Right.
I've had some people hit me up talking about doing a video. I just haven't like worked with them yet. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I haven't really seen too much of their material.
Right.
So for me to work with somebody, I'm very big on like, I want to go in the studio, record my song one time, it be mastered, and I'm done.
Right.
I don't like to go in there for 3 hours, 4 hours, BS,
Of course.
and stuff like that. I feel like I've been to the studio with other people,
Yeah.
and they just go in there, kick back, chill, maybe smoke and stuff. In my studio sessions, I'm not doing all that.
It's
we're
work,
getting,
it's
we're getting
business.
in there, and
Yeah.
we're getting out of there because we know what we're going for. We know what we want to do. So there's no sense in,
Yeah.
and we're at the bottom. So if you're at the bottom, you don't need to go and kick it and have fun in the studio. You need to go in there to work.
Yeah.
And make something happen for yourself.
I never understood that. People go in and punch in, and it's like, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah, like, hello, you just paid for the session, but you just came to hang out.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like
Right.
there's other people,
Yeah.
artists that would love to have a studio session. So maybe some of you folks could free up some time for me.
Free up.
Yeah, free up some time.
We out here standing in the rain, man.
For real, we're tired of standing in the rain.
Tired of it.
Literally.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to look at this camera though?
No.
Oh,
That's
for you.
physically impossible.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah. But yeah, well, looking forward to it. If it's at the end of April, this will probably drop about then. So
Okay, cool.
it'll be perfect timing.
Let's do it. And then
But don't rush the process. I rushed the
not.
process at one point, and it didn't work out well. You gotta let it. You gotta
I've
trust
had
it.
this song written since September.
Oh, that ain't nothing.
And I have not recorded it because I'm very big on, like I told you, I'm very big on like sitting on it,
Right.
let it marinate a little
Yeah.
bit before you go into the studio. Because when I go in the studio, I want it to be absolutely perfect one take.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go in the studio and waste my time because like even if I'm in there for 30 minutes, I like to make the most of every second I have.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I like to keep things professional, like you were saying. I don't like to mix business and my personal life. So
Yeah.
it's just I try to keep the two separate. So like once you become like, I want to be cool with my engineer, whoever's producing me.
Hmm.
I want to maybe even be their friend, but I'm not. We're in there for business. We're not in there to be besties and buddy. So
Yeah. Absolutely. It's I don't feel like every good engineer has the artist's best
interest at heart.
interest at art. Yeah. Yeah. And not just the art, just the art that's coming out, because if you're the engineer, you know, you play a role in it, obviously. So, well, that's great. Definitely looking forward to it. And where can people find you?
You guys can find me at just being B Noel on Instagram. I just changed my username because it was time for a change. You know?
Mhm.
Time for a change and time for elevation.
A level up.
Yeah, leveling up over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Hit that 400 follower checkpoint. We got to make some changes.
yeah, we do for sure.
Yeah.
It's like 450, I think. But hey, I get like a new follower like every 3 days, so I'm doing good right now. I mean, I could pay for them, but
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that would be on my. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
but
want people to genuinely like what I have.
I've never
Yeah.
paid for followers, but people that have, like, it does seem to work, and I've considered it just because, you know, if you get a DM from somebody with 450 versus somebody with 4,500,
Yeah.
you know, even if the 4,500 are fake, it just subconsciously it's like, well, yeah. So,
Yeah. Like
but-
I know the guy I sent you from Atlanta, Gwinnett. I thought he paid for his followers,
Yeah.
which he did at one point when he first started.
Right.
But he actually goes and does a lot of shows. He hangs out with like Huncho, and he's been to the studio of Future and stuff. So I mean, that is a connection I have. It's just, I'm not gonna lie, some people aren't, they aren't really on your team. So you gotta remember that,
Absolutely.
especially in this industry. Not
Yeah.
everyone's your friend. Not everyone's on your team, and not everyone cares about you making it further than what you are. So
It's a dog eat dog industry,
for sure,
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brooklyn.
it was nice being here. Thank you.
Of course. Guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Gulf Coast Music Podcast. Once again, my name's Q Steezy, and we'll see you in the next one. Go follow Brooklyn Noel on Instagram and prepare to hear some good stuff coming up.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.